which is kind of a neat date. 12121. What you say? Yeah, we're gonna read the paper right now. Philadelphia Inquirer. I'm reading it. Hello. Came a little early today. It's kind of exciting. So I'm going to open it up and we're going to get started on reading it. I hope that maybe you got lucky too and your paper arrived early. And you can open it up and unfold it like so. Take your first glance. Today's paper. You think, okay, this is what they went with. Okay, that's the above the fold, of course. That's a pull-out quote. Sectional loose today. Wasn't in the bundle. Kind of fell out. Food and dining. It's like it knows. It's like, oh, he doesn't typically read the food and dining anyway, so we're just gonna make it easy for him to dismiss the section. Although I want to keep this because it's about a vermouth. I'm kind of curious about a vermouth made for Philly at the Bloomsbury Cafe. So why don't I just put that aside and we'll do the separating sections. We'll get right to it. I mean, why not? Like I said, if you have your paper, whether it's the Inquirer, the New York Times is here as well in its signature plastic wrap, which is exciting. But I want to keep this under wraps until it's time. We start with the Inquirer, and then we move on. Let's separate the sections. Here is the front section, and it's all its glory today, day after the inauguration of President Joe Biden. I did see a list here on CNN here on my other monitor. I saw his immediate executive orders, and I was like, love it. It's like I love all of these decisions. No more wall. Boof. Rejoin the Paris Accord. Yes. Rejoin World Health Organization. Yes. Decommission the 1776 Commission. Yes. I mean, it was great. It was like a litany of like wishes coming true in like one moment. So to that end, let's start with the front section and see, how they cover these executive actions. And other news from yesterday's historic day. Two articles on the front page today. Just two. Democracy has prevailed, we just saw. Jonathan Tamari gets the above the fold article. Front page article for Jonathan today. All right, John. Front page article for Julia Taruso and Sean Collins Walsh, too. In lockdown capital. Some still gathered to savor a historic moment. I did see yesterday, too, of a critique or an observation of the clothing choices for the attendees. A lot of monochrome. What I understand. A lot of monochrome. I guess that's what this means. All purple. All green. All white. And the children? Do the children count as making fashion choices, or is that their parents' choice? Probably their parents' choice. But it's still monochrome. Still makes the list. Explosion lives through Madrid building, 4 dead. Oof. Debris from the blast in the city center filled a nearby schoolyard. We're turning to page A3 now. We're looking at delays impede the vaccine push. It seems like the same headline every day about these vaccines. It's like, can I get a vaccine, please? Can we get some vaccines? Hello? I was reading that there's like millions upon millions of them. And you just can't get them to the States. It's like the push to inculcate Americans against the coronavirus is hitting a roadblock. A number of states are reporting they are running out of vaccines, and tens of thousands of people who managed to get appointments for a first dose are seeing them canceled. What's clear now is we'll be going from week to week, and you will see a constant pattern of basically running out, waiting for the next week's allocation, and starting up again, says New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Okay. At Biden's request, Surgeon General quits. Jerome Adams was a top spokesperson for the Trump coronavirus response. He drew flag from the Dems. He's out. Thank you for the opportunity to serve this great nation, Adam, as this has been the honor of my life, Adams wrote on his Facebook page. I hope in 2021 and beyond we can focus more on what unites us and rise above what divides us. What if you would have said that 4 days ago, Jerome? While dozens of Trump appointees across the health department resigned on Wednesday, the Surgeon General is thought to be in a different category because the job is viewed as being an advocate for the nation's health and often regarded as nonpartisan. Some Surgeon Generals have served across multiple administrations. Not so for Jerome. Instead, we're going to have Vivek Murthy, who was a Surgeon General under Barack Obama. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's those executive orders I was talking about. Here's Biden signing them. I wonder if he's going to hold up the symbolic, whatever that is, with the big signature and be like, I signed this. I signed this. So that was Trump's move. Which ones? We knew it. We knew the Keystone XL pipeline gone. Bunch of stuff. Good stuff, mostly. All. Not even most. A lot of news about the inauguration, of course. It's newsworthy. Here's a section in the center here, close to the center spread of inauguration coverage. It's time for Truth and Consequences by Will Bunch. You know, it's going to have a pretty left slant. You got America's Day, excerpts from Biden's address. It's nice to see. You got some of these photos I just showed. Oh, you got a whole other page of photos today in the Philadelphia Inquirer. You can soak in the Biden inauguration in all its glory if you like through photos and Jonathan Tamary's article. This Amanda Gorman, who was the youngest poet to ever perform at the presidential inauguration at the age of 22. I was wondering, like, how did she get there? Like, how did she become a poet laureate? Did she become a poet laureate for sure? Or, like, one article said, or one newscast said, she's a poet laureate. But the Cryon when it was going over, when she was reading it, it just said youngest poet to read. So I'm like, was she just like write some stuff and then they just found her online, or is she actually a poet laureate? She is. She's gone relatively viral since this point. But I do want to know more about her. Helen Ubinas is writing about it, A New Day, but let's not forget the past. However, I'm not really seeing much, despite the photo, focusing on Miss Gorman. Okay, well, good for her. It's quite the accomplishment, regardless of whether she's a laureate or not. Which I don't even know how you get that accomplishment. I'm not saying it's not a major accomplishment, but that it's a worthy accomplishment. I'm just wondering how it happens. Oh. Some more, another twist in the Pelosi Laptop saga. Never take me alive, the fat thief allegedly said. After walking out of the Capitol with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's laptop 2 weeks ago, Riley Williams didn't wait long, FBI agents said, to tell the internet what she had done. Just gotta go on my Facebook page. Just gotta hit up Twitter with my exploits. Quote, I took Nancy Pelosi's, misspelled, Pelosi, Polsis, P-O-L-E-S-I-S. I took Nancy Polsis hard drives. I don't care. Kill me. Authorities say the Harrisburg woman wrote on the social media site Discord just hours after the January 6th Capitol attack. But I wrote it on Discord, everyone. Like, that's a pretty obscure website or social media service. I didn't put it on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram post. Can I get a little bit of credit for trying to be somewhat low key? On my bragging of stealing the House Speaker's laptop? Come on. Discord schmiscord. She purportedly boasted of purloining other items, including Pelosi's gravel hammer word thimb. An apparent reference. She spelled it gravel, like not gavel, gravel. Hammer word, Hammwrd, and then thing, instead of an H, she used the letter B, so bing. And felt confident she had escaped scot-free. Like, they're gonna arrest me, Williams allegedly wrote, adding in another post hours later, they'll never take me alive. Eventually, however, they did. In addition to the Discord messages, prosecutors say Williams shot video of her on her cell phone as she stormed the Capitol with a crowd of Trump supporters. In one, a woman whose voice agents have identified as Williams's warns a crowd of people standing around a computer in the House Speaker's conference room not to touch it without gloves. The text caption over the footage reads, "They got the laptop." Another message notes, "I got pepper sprayed," and detail how she allegedly escaped from police at the scene. Officers, Williams purportedly wrote, "Follow me around grabbing me. While I was escaping in the crowd, I got away." Not for long. Not for long, Riley. I hope your 13 seconds of fame on Discord before you got arrested were worth that. It was worth bragging to your troll friends. Dork. QAnon members faced the, quote, storm that wasn't. Some adherents of the extremist movement expected Trump to round up his enemies to be executed. And then reality dawned that he's just a guy. He's just a blowhard. Got in his helicopter. There goes the storm. Looks like the storm passed. And it's clear skies. Followers of the extremist ideology QAnon saw their hopes once again dashed Wednesday as President Donald Trump left Washington on the final day of his presidency without any kind of climactic scenes of violence and salvation that the sprawling set of conspiracy theories had preached for years would come. As Trump boarded Air Force One for his last presidential flight to Florida, many QAnon adherents, some of whom had earlier this month stormed the Capitol in a siege that left at least 2 QAnon devotees dead and others in jail, began to wonder whether they'd been duped all along. Hey, do you think that those swamp creature things, the people who were dressed in a human skin and the whole ring of child pedophiles, do you think that might have been just bogus? Now that I think about the swamp creatures, maybe they aren't actually... They didn't actually take over the bodies of politicians. Maybe that didn't happen. When one QAnon channel in the chat app Telegram posted a new theory that suggested Biden himself was part of the plan, a number of followers shifted into open rebellion. This will never happen. Just STFU already. It's over. It is sadly over. What a fraud. But while some QAnon disciples gave way to doubt, others doubled down on the blind belief or strained to see how new coded messages in the Inauguration Day's events. Some followers noted that 17 flags, Q being the 17th letter of the alphabet, flew on the stage as Trump delivered a farewell address. 17 flags! Come on now, this is getting insane, said one post on QAnon forum devoted to the, quote, Great Awakening, the quasi-biblical name for QAnon's utopian end times. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17. Oh. I'll mark that down on my little ledger here. Signs of the end times. Put that on Discord too, just in case. Just get that on record. It's like, really? I still have a tough time wrapping my mind around going from reading about kind of right-wing, right-leaning theories to like full-on humans with skin suits that are really swamp creatures and molest children. Seems like a big leap. A lot of people made it. Maybe they're getting out of their stupor now and being like, wait a minute, where have I been? What time is it? Netflix subscribers topped the 200 million mark. There's a lot of people watching Queen's Gambit and Bridgerton. That's a big thing these days. And what else am I watching? Cobra Kai. Season 3. Oh, look, speaking of the Queen's Gambit, here's a photo they chose. Good show. Good show. Pandemic has provided a huge boost in Netflix business, forcing people inside and limiting other such entertainment options as movie theaters and concerts. Company added 25.9 million customers in the first 6 months of last year and ended up adding 36.6 million customers in all. A record. A lot of people watching Netflix. Shares rose at 16.85% to close Wednesday at $586 a piece. There was a point in time when Netflix, and this was like, 3-4 years ago, where Netflix was like, the end of Netflix. I think there was some controversy or something had gone on. I don't remember. Reed Hastings had to come out and do some do some PR work, whatever they had to do. And I was like, oh, maybe I should jump on the Netflix stock situation, see how much it could be, buy a couple shares. I didn't do it. It was like really low at that point. And so I thought maybe Netflix is actually going away. I said maybe they can't survive this. I was extremely wrong. Letters and op-eds, and I'm going to be closing it down. Woo. What's our comic today? What's our cartoon? Do you solemnly swear? Okay, and then they have a bunch of characters representing COVID, the economy, etc. I'm not sure I get it. Letters. Anne Scardino, Philadelphia. Again, another, opportunity to look at the death of Milan Lankar. I'm saddened to the core regarding the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Temple grad Milan Lankar while walking his dog in Brewery Town. Oh, we have a special guest. Special guest.
Good morning.
Hey. Hello. Okay. Have a good day.
Yes,
Hi, special guest. You made it just in time for the letters from the peanut gallery. 20-year-old accused of killing him has a list of former convictions and was out on bail from prior charges. Judges have an obligation to protect our citizens when they know that a person on the street could bring harm to others. Anyone could have drawn that conclusion with Josephus Davis's record. How sad that the judge didn't realize it. It is sad. Terribly sad, really. Edwin H. Smith, Philadelphia, 6-year presidency. Virginia Goldberg, Whitmore, hold all accountable. I love this. Send Trump the invoice. I was just talking about this yesterday, maybe, that all those golf trips. Please request that the bill for the cost of all the extra nationwide security is sent to Donald John Trump and his temporary residence of Mar-a-Lago, Florida. Sincerely, Richard F. Stern, Huntington Valley. That's right, Richard. Philabundance photo op. Wouldn't impress Dr. King. Interesting. This is kind of, I guess, commenting on Joe Biden's visit to Philly to help with packaging up foods for the nation. To honor the legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Biden came to Philadelphia on Monday to pack groceries at Philabundance, the region's largest supplier of emergency food. People celebrated his service, although it's not clear if he others sought to highlight the public health crisis and food insecurity currently raging alongside COVID-19. Local and national press have picked up Biden's day of service as a feel-good story, with images of the same president doing right by the people. I'm not sure Dr. King would have been impressed. In his 1967 speech to the National Conference on the New Politics in Chicago, Dr. King said, "True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It understands that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. A true revolution of values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth." Philadelphia, as a nation's poorest big city that was founded on a long, sordid history of stealing lands from the Lenape and decades of state-sanctioned segregation and ghettoization, is still on the road to Jericho. So, Mariana Chilton, who's the professor at the Dornstreich School of the Public Health at Drexel University and director of the Center for Hunger-Free Communities, who wrote this op-ed, says she's been documenting people's experiences of hunger and food insecurity in Philly since 2000, right? To the Center for Hunger-Free Communities at Drexel University. Despite repeated calls to get the city to pay attention to soaring hunger rates and the enduring damage to children's health and well-being, in 2020, over 16% of Philadelphians reported food insecurity. She's basically saying, listen, I've been trying. Like, before Joe Biden showed up, I'm in here. Can we get this? Can we get this under control? All right. Hey, we need letters like that. Look at Mark Thiessen saying, "Hey, Joe B, he's my president. I'm gonna give him a shot." All right, Mark. You're like an adult. That's good. Hey, Grace, I'm gonna take off my sweatshirt because it's getting a little bit toasty in this room. Can I just push it down for 1 second? Thanks, yo. My Def Leppard shirt on. Presenting the 80s. I'm seeing the 80s bands today. Want to move to the region together, sweetie? All right, Sean. Joy in Jenkintown. What's happening in Jenkintown? It's so joyful. Inauguration Day. Of course. Come here. Back at it. Oh. Io. Those are happy people. I'm going to cut out a Kamala Harris here. Like, oh, look at my cutout. Doesn't look like her? It does. Because it is her, except cardboard. Radio host among Trump pardons. Gary Hendler. Pardoned for his 1980s drug-related crime. I didn't think Trump would get it. I didn't think I would get it from Trump, was Gary's response to learning he was pardoned. My sweetie. What do you want to read? The Region always has a section here. Not always, but most times. On this, like, second page. Where you can see over here. Having a lot of time. Where there's, like, kind of like sad crime news. Like, you know, local crime. Gun in home kills girl, 9. Authorities said she was fatally shot while she was left unsupervised with 2 other children. How old were the other children? 12-year-old? No. No good. She died after being shot in the head in North Philly on Wednesday, when she and 2 other children were left unsupervised inside a house with 2 firearms. Lock up your guns, please. I mean, even if you, like, put them on, like, a top shelf, right? If you don't have a lockbox, can't afford one, I don't know, whatever reason. Put them up, put them high. PA district sued over abuse on the bus. Well, we don't like this, Grace. Special needs kids potentially being mistreated. Family of a young woman with special needs who was sexually abused by a bus driver during van rides to school in 2015 has sued the Penridge School District, alleging it failed to protect her. Lawsuit alleges Penridge was negligent in hiring and supervising James McIntyre. Who pleaded guilty in 2016 to molesting 2 special needs students. POS. 100%. You can tell him I said it, Maddie, Hannah, staff writer. Tell him I said it. Tell him I said it. Where's James? Hey, James. POS. He had a reputation for acting inappropriately with female students with special needs, according to the lawsuit. All right, well. December 2015 or January 2016, a lawsuit said the girl told her mother McIntyre was touching her inappropriately, and her mother contacted law enforcement. McIntyre admitted to the abuse, sentenced to state prison, released in February 2020, according to state records. People with special needs are particularly vulnerable to sexual abuse, the lawsuit said. It cited an NPR report and the U.S. Department of Justice disabilities. Such disabilities. The lawsuit accuses Penridge negligence. The district failed to adopt or follow adequate policies for the protection and reasonable supervision of students. Our children, our special needs population, are gifts to people. They're gifts, and they should be treated as such. And they already have enough challenges as it is. Man, we gotta just do better as a people. Press stops for vegan takeout and delivering the burbs. I feel like I already looked through this already before. So if you want to look at vegan stuff in the life section within the regions section, if you like your vegetables, you got a whole bunch of places to go. CAROLYN Hacks, my girl, advice columnist. Let's do it, CAROLYN. What we got today? What we got? Page B7. Take time to explore who you are. What do you think, Grace? You ready to read this column? You like to make those noises again? You're always making those noises. Always making your raspberry noises. Ryan and I got together 8 years ago at the tail end of college. I moved to D.C. to be with him while he started law school, and I've built a career in a little community for myself here. I believed we would eventually get married. But after asking him about it a couple of times, Gracie, grab. After asking about it a couple of times last year, I think he does not want to deal with it anytime soon. I told him I should probably move out and explore my options, and his immediate response was, "No, we could talk about marriage this year. We will probably get engaged next year." My gut tells me this is just an effort to preserve that comfortable life we have together, but I am tempted to accept it. Because 8 years feels like so many... All right. Do you want to get down? You want to throw on like Paw Patrol, we'll be there on the Dubo. I can put it on if you want. Well, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it on our second screen. What? I know it's actually right now we're looking at Blaze and the Monster. What is it? Something? Hey, I'm gonna move you over here. Watch. Like that. Look. My whole life is bigger. I know. Don't you know we're live here, Grace? Looking for your pacifier. I'm having a hard time locating anything that will be of use right now to stem this. What would you like? But I am 30 and I want kids. Sure? Sure about that? No, I'm kidding. I kid. I should probably move out and explore my options, and this media sponsors all over here admit this. My gut tells me this is just an effort to preserve a comfortable life. She's made many sunk costs. She has friends who complain daily about the dearth of available dating options. What to do next? Gracie, what is going on, sweetie? Why do we have to have screaming matches every morning? Why do you have to scream like that? Huh? Don't you want to know what CAROLYN has to say about this response? I mean about the situation that her and Ryan are in? Answer. Let me read this to you. Answer. Can we time travel backwards to that conversation so you can respond this time on the spot? That's bull. ... Because it needed saying. Still does, but maybe in a different way now that some time has passed. This is your life and his together, right? His even thinking it's up to him to control the calendar is bull. We can talk about it this year. Oh, we can? Can we? Cool. Or we can stuff it somewhere really uncomfortable. How about that? Carolyn doesn't pull punches. She's like, listen, this ain't working out for you, for him, for anybody. And it's bull in the utter bloodlessness of it all. Are you emotional partners, the closest people in each other's worlds, the sole occupants in the innermost circle of intimacy? Or are you contestants in a suspenseful contest, strategizing to see whether you win a marriage certificate and a baby and still keep most of your personal goals intact? I urge you to get some air here. All right, let me get you. Give me 1 second, please. Just give me a moment. I gotta attend to this. All right, hang on, sweetie. I'm gonna get you some. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Here. Don't worry. I urge you to get some air here, to create an opportunity to be somewhere else, out of your shared home, to be yourself on your own terms for the first time in 8 years. See for yourself who and what you have become during these crucial developmental years. Taking the stairs tires you out, no matter what it is. See for yourself. Got it. Taste the foods you stopped eating because you're with him. Watch the stuff you stopped watching because you're with him. Wear the things you stopped wearing. I say this not as an indictment of him, but as a nod to the reality of shared living. Let yourself see clearly what you lose when he's not around and what you lose when he is around. That's when you'll start to see whether you even want to marry him. Time invested, by the way, as an argument for putting up with unhappiness, I just can't. Okay, thank you for that today. Now we have a horoscope read. Scorpios. Likely another example of just pulling words out of the air, putting them together in a couple sentences and saying this is what your horoscope is, and you're like, oh, okay. You say so, Madeline Aslan. Companions will present ambitious plans and ideas. Trust your instincts and all will be well. An established partnership is entering a new phase. A loved one is experiencing a temporary setback or facing a legal issue. I don't know anybody who's getting sued. Any other sort of legal trauma or drama. But the day is young. Still. Doesn't really ring true for me, but what else is new with that? OBITS. Here's where we all take a moment to say peace and love to those who've passed on. Give them a moment to take a look. Yeah, I'm still in the front section. No, I'm in region. Okay, we made it past the front section. Donna Marie Taylor of Drexel Hill, 69 years old. She started as an executive assistant with Wanamaker's, Strawbridge's, and Macy's. Her career with the retailer lasted over 40 years. My grandma on my dad's side used to work at Macy's. Well, Wanamaker's. The old Wanamaker's. I used to always think that was cool when I was younger. And this was like just like a part-time thing. Back when she retired. Well, she never really worked, actually. So, in her senior years. More senior years. I thought it was neat that she took a job at Wanamaker's. I think she was like at the cologne perfume counter. Or maybe she was just doing, walking around the clothing stacks. Being like, can I get you a size medium? Whatever it was. I thought it was neat. She passed away years ago. Rest in peace, Grandma and Floss. Who else? Who else passed away recently? I'm seeing mostly older folks here in the 80s, 90s. An accomplished cellist and beloved teacher passed away, David Guggenheim. He was known for his attractive and vibrant sound. His professional achievements range from his role as a principal cellist with the Pennsylvania Ballet Orchestra until his retirement in 2000 to his many performances as featured soloist with world-famous classical dancers. David was an original member of the Philadelphia Little Symphony and a cellist with symphony and opera orchestras. Cool life. Right, Grace? All right. Some more people here. If you want to check them out, I'm going to give them a little bit of time today just to say hello and goodbye. Region. Finished. Sports. Last real section we look at. I mean, there is a food and dining here. I might power through it, but sports is what's going to take us, some time. And then, we'll see about going to the New York Times. I don't know, though. Don't know. Might be a little bit later today for the New York Times. Yeah, I heard Dick Vermeil saying that Doug Peterson, quote, got a bad deal, according to Marcus Hayes. Personally, I say this. They'd have won 10 games probably this year if they hadn't had all the injuries, Vermeil said Wednesday. I just believe that. No one's going to change my mind. He spoke to 610 WIP, or I guess now it's 94.1 WIP, John Ritchie and Joe DeCamera, in the heart of the station's Doug Peterson Day, honoring the Eagles coach, whom owner Jeffrey Lurie fired last week. Vermeil admires Peterson. I was really surprised it happened, admitted Vermeil, who has a history of derision for Eagles owner Jeff Lurie, and very disappointed. Embiid drops 40 deuce last night. Big win over the Celts. 117-109. Let's take on the Celtics again. Friday, 22nd. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. If he just once he gets into a groove or once he gets into his game, he's just a force. Unstoppable. Embiid. It's like just a beast in many, many ways. What was his full line? Can I get it here by chance? 42 points to go with 10 rebounds. Made 12 of 19 shots and went 17-21 from the foul line. Tobias Harris. I always call him Josh Harris. Tobias Harris, 22 points. Danny Green, 12. Good old Shake Milton came off the bench. 16 points in a reserve role. To the Sixers. Flyers tonight. 3-1. They enter against the Bruins. 7 p.m. First away game in the season for the Fly Guys. Be there or DVR and watch it later. Whatever. Or read in the newspaper tomorrow. What happened with me? Looking at the standings real quick. Sixers in second at 905. Celtics at 8-4. Have a chance to, on Friday, even up their records if the Sixers win. Hit the Flyers sitting at 3-1 at the top of the East. 6 points. 4 games played. Got some teams that played 5 games here. Toronto, Edmonton. All the rest, 4 or less. Weather. Today's weather today, everyone. High of 45 in the region. It's like a decent week, but then you get a stretch there of clouds and rain images I'm seeing. Starting next Monday. Cloudy with snow possible, rain and snow possible, partly sunny, rain and snow, mainly cloudy. Looks like next week could be a little bit of a toss-up. Today's sunset, 5:07. And a full moon next Thursday as well. I did see Philip Rivers also retired. Best of luck to Philip Rivers. Ends his career after 721 touchdown passes. 421 touchdown passes. Need more coffee. I wonder what he's going to do, Phil Rivers. He's got a little bit of a fiery personality. He could probably turn that into something. Maybe he can start reading newspapers live online and commenting on them, reacting to them. Seems like a decent idea. It just needs to take off. It just needs more people to kind of jump on. You'll get there. It's just, persistence pays off. Right, Phil? Ooh, best of Philly's new fried chicken sandwiches. This is a food article I might be able to get behind. What kind of new fried chicken sandwiches are out there? Chick-a-boom, sweet Thai chili chicken sandwich. The Lucky Wells Motel fried chicken sandwich. Big Dean's hot chickens Nashville chicken sandwich. And Chef Big Rube's Kitchen's OG fried chicken sandwich. Do you know Irish people? And maybe in Europe, in the UK, that area, they call it a chicken burger, not a chicken sandwich. Somehow I stumbled upon on YouTube, Irish people react. And it was like Irish people react to eating Krispy Kreme donut for the first time. Irish people react to trying American bourbon. Irish people react to chicken sandwiches. And they were calling them chicken burgers. They were like, oh, Americans call them chicken sandwiches. And they were like, I don't know why. We call them chicken burgers. And I was like, kind of feeling a little bit like disgusted by the concept of a chicken burger. I'm like, oh, chicken burger. Stop saying that. And then I'm like, it's literally the same thing. It's a chicken sandwich. But somehow a chicken sandwich, I don't know, doesn't sound as, I don't know why. There's a different vibe I get. But I do. Quick service eateries have had fried chicken sandwiches on their menus for several years, but 2020 brought a veritable flock of new entrants to compete against such nationals as Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. Why? Chicken sandwiches travel well, always a plus in the takeout delivery world, and chicken prices are relatively stable, opposed to the beef used in burgers. Among the 2020 openings, the Yucky Wells Chad Rosenthal combated his bar restaurant doldrums by adding a takeout delivery brand called Motel Fried Chicken. Entrepreneur Brittany Talaferro opened a second location of Chick-a-Boom. The guys behind Snap Pizza, with former Rouge chef Dean Dupas, created Big Dean's Hot Chicken using a cool business model. Chef Yulia Schitchel opened Huda, a sandwich shop in Center City. Around the corner, Taiwanese snack shop Biology added a chicken sandwich on a sweet potato bun. Moral of the story, lots of chicken burgers. Sandwich is out there. If you want to look, there's even more of them. Whoa! It's a veritable flock. Clockworks, Haddon-Field hot chicken sandwich. Biology's Taiwanese fried chicken. The Bama sandwich from Sophie's Barbecue in Ardmore. Honey's crispy chicken sandwich. Fuku's Hanna-Barbera ranch chicken. And Sticky Finger Joint chicken sandwich with purple slaw. I love me some coleslaw on my sandwiches, depending upon the sandwich. But a coleslaw on like a hot pastrami or a Reuben. Or like turkey dinner after Thanksgiving, you get the coleslaw. Put it on a sandwich. Turkey. Oof. Oof. Alright. I decided I don't care about this vermouth situation. So I'm moving on. And I'm done. We finished the Inquirer on a chicken sandwich high note. Maybe I want to go out today and get one, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It might be a good lunch option. I have plenty of choices, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. All right, sweetie. We did it. We made it through the Inquirer today. Today's read. We will get to the New York Times later on. But for now, we got to get you ready for the bus. Have a great morning, and I will catch up with you all later.